The House of Drear, Chapter 10, Part 2. Mac Darrow's hands were soft and sure over the keys. He looked at Thomas and through Thomas all at the same moment. He saw Thomas, but denied him. I'm like that, thought Thomas, when I'm carving something from wood. All by myself, too. Mac Darrow could be my friend if he wanted to be, even if he is big. The congregation had turned around to see. Thomas had known they would do that. The church was more than 2/3 full, and folks had turned around to look at Thomas and his family standing in the vestibule. Mr. Small searched out a pew empty enough to hold them all, and far enough away from the pulpit so as not to take seats from the regular members. Thomas waited to see if all those looks would be not unkind. He wanted to find out if the boys sitting like a rook of hawks close to the exit would lift their faces with some comment. Their eyes flicked innocently over at Mac Darrow, but Darrow kept his mind on the hymns at his fingertips. He would not tell them how to behave, his bowed head seemed to say. So they know about me, thought Thomas. They know about the house and that M.C. Darrow was fooling with me. But did they know we had a visitor last night? The boys couldn't keep their curiosity hidden. They looked at Thomas with half-concealed excitement. Thomas was pleased by it. He tried standing straighter. He made himself look at them coolly, keeping his mind as empty of emotion as he could. The women of the congregation, those ladies in white, who would forever keep faith with picnics and Sunday schools, smiled fondly at the twins. Thomas had known they would. It wouldn't be any time before they were asking to hold the boys or to sit with them on a Saturday. But it was those folks between age and youth that worried Thomas most. They'll want to know what Papa has to offer them and what he intends to take away. They'll wonder what he's doing coming to their small church, because they won't know that the black church, large or small, is all the same to him. And they'll want to know if Mama is going to be just as regular as everybody, or whether she will pretend she is too good for them. Mama is so pretty besides. She always will have the trouble. The mothers and fathers of the boys, sitting hawk-eyed and shrewd in the far corner, stared at Mr. and Mrs. Small. Mr. Small nodded to them while going down the aisle. He had spied seats about halfway to the pulpit, but at an angle from it, near one of the squat stained-glass windows. His nod was a polite greeting and a gentle probe to see if they would allow strangers among them. Some folks nodded slightly. Others looked long and hard. Thomas and his family passed one pew where 4 big men were sitting. Something about them made Thomas check them in his mind. They looked alike, that was it, and they did not wear suit jackets. They were somewhat light of skin, with the burnt look on their necks and cheekbones that spoke of country and sun. Farmers, Thomas thought. Maybe barn builders. Why are they here today without their jackets? They didn't look at Mr. and Mrs. Small, nor at Thomas or the twins. Their faces feigned disinterest. Thomas gave a silent whistle through his teeth. By the time he sat down in the pew Mr. Small had found for them, his hands were sweating. Thomas sat next to his papa. The twins sat between Thomas and his mother. Save for Mac Darrow playing the piano, there had been almost a hush until Thomas and his family sat down. Now people were again talking in church. Women were fanning themselves, for it was very warm. Thomas whispered nervously to his father. "Did you see them, Papa? Did you see the 4 men?" "Yes, I saw them," said Mr. Small. And understanding Thomas so well, he added,